Hello everyone, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. Welcome back to the channel. Pack 22 now of this Hachette Lancaster bomber B.III, the Dambuster. If you want to get yourself one of these, have a look at the QR code on the screen now, or the website across the bottom of there, and you can go over there and get yourself one and build along with me. So we're still working on the engine, I think. This is the result of packs 19, 20 and 21, and it's been very fiddly, very tricky, and not very easy either, and not the best design, I have to say, but it's all going together. It's okay. That's going to fall off of there, so I need to re-glue that on in. I don't know why they designed it that way. Anyway, lots and lots of tiny pins, tiny little holes for them to go into, and it's just, you know, they could have been bigger pins and bigger holes. It's very strange. It's like a different designer has done this bit. Anyway, we've got another 3 of them to do yet, so let's have a look in here. As we do, we'll have a look through the magazine first. So we'll get our parts out, put them over there. I'll repair that bit that's broken off in a minute. So get the bag, put it to one side, that can go in the recycling. So anyway, so what have we got in here? We have, let's turn this light off because we're looking at magazines. We don't have lights on for magazines, and we don't have that one on either. Right, so there we go. So we've got all our parts there. We've got the usual contacts and everything. So here's the kit instructions, which we're just going to flick through. Operation Hydra. So there's a V2 rocket there, and this is where they had to bomb the living daylights out of it. So that was what they did. Unfortunately, the bombing also killed around 500 slave workers. That's unfortunate. It's awful. There we go. So that was the RAF's bombing raid on the Nazi rocket research facility at Peenemünde. And then here we've got the Vickers Wellington, beautiful aircraft, and very lovely aircraft. Again, it was designed by Barnes Wallis, who, not Barnes Wallis, what am I talking about? Must be going crazy, it was Barnes Wallis. I just had to look online. I must be losing my mind, I think. Anyway, so yeah, so that was finally used as a night bomber, and then the Lancaster came along and the Wellington faded away. So there we are. So we got our next part there. So here we go with assembly of parts in pack 22. So we check all the parts. Hopefully this will be a bit simpler than the previous stages have been. So we've got our magnetos in there, the box for the recycling. So we've got a little bag of bits here. We get our light on because we're doing plastic, or we're doing building, should I say. Get that bag over there. Okay, I save these bags. They're really handy for bits and pieces in future. So you can check all our parts off, make sure we've got them all there, and then I'll come back. Okay, so there we are. There's all our parts, and I can see we've got fiddly again. Okay, so let's build up the supercharger. So we've got the main air intake. It's going to go into the back of here, and we've got a key on there, and we've got a hole in there, so that's going to go in there. That's a very tight fit. We can just turn that until it aligns. There we go. So that's gone together, and then we can place the front of the supercharger on. That's a fairly tight fit. I think that's going to have to be glued. We shall see. And then we've got this gear cover going on. That's got 3 pins, and we've got a cutout in the top, so the cutout needs to line up. That's all gone together. There's your supercharger. Then we got 22J. I'm not sure what that is. Let's have a look what it is. 22J is a connection. There we go. Thanks for that. So that's going to go onto there. So that's going to have to be glued. So that's going to go into that hole there. Yeah, that's going to have to be glued. So we've got that glued on. Okay, and then we've got these parts here. This is the cam drive gears, and they're going to go on that way round. So you've got the 4 pins facing out. So that's going to go on like so. Why doesn't that want to fit? Why is it every time I turn the camera on, things go wrong? This is very strange. It's because I'm not. I thought I was doing it. No, I'm not doing it upside down. What's going on here? We've got this same problem again. We've got pins and tiny holes. Yeah, that definitely needs to be glued on. That is terrible, the fit of that. Hang on, no, it does need to be glued, so we're going to put some of our super glue on the end of these pins. That should help to hold it all together. Dear, dear, dear. I'm not sure if that pin should be shorter or if that hole should be deeper or whatever. Oh, there we go, it's gone now. Right, there we are. So that's how that should look. It does go together, you just need to give it an extra shove. And then we've got the parts going into the back of the magneto. Now we've got this part here, 22G, looks very similar to 22I. And I can't see if there is a difference in them. You can see them here. Okay, they look very, very similar. In fact, they look exactly the same. And I think once again we've got broken off pins. It's where the people that have taken these off the sprues have cut the bloody pins off. Oh, come on. There's a pin being cut off there, you can see it's missing, been cut off. So yeah, well, is what it is. Okay, so this is going to go with the big pin in the center and the little pin at the side. Okay, so that's going to have to be glued as well. So we'll get some of our glue. We just put a drop on there, that should be fine to hold this. So that's going to go like that. And then this in turn is going to glue to the side of there, and the trouble with no pins is we don't know the location. So I'm going to leave that for a minute to let it dry, and I'm going to go forward to step 7 and glue that one in the same. Just put some glue on there and then push that together. There we go. So I'm going to leave those to dry, and then we're going to see about trying to find out where they go. Right then guys, I've discovered what the difference is in 22G and 22I. Where the pins on mine have been cut, broken or off, you can see that there is a remnant of a pin there, and you can see it's got a flat. And you can see that when this is like this, okay, so when that is in that orientation, the flat should face up, and if you get them wrong, the flat will face down. Doesn't really matter on mine because they're missing, but this one here is going to go into a hole on that side. Wow, that still hasn't gone together. That's got to go in further. God blimey. There we go. Dear, dear. Right, so they're going to put some glue in there. So this is going into this side. So I'm going to put a great big blob of super glue in there to try and hold this in place. The capillary action is just swallowing all the glue up. So this is this one. Yeah, this one is going into there. So that's that magneto gone into there, like so. As I say guys, I've said a number of times, I'm not going to be displaying these engines, so I'm not really too fussed about them, which is lucky because This is not going well at all. And then that is going to go into there. And then this is going to go upwards. So that's going to go into there like that. Okay. I'm guessing they don't show you it finished, do they? Alright, okay, so it needs to go back a bit. It needs to be kind of vertical. So there we are. Now this unit here, we've got to put this oil filter thing on the side, whatever it is. Identify the fixing point, so that should have a pin on it, and it does. So I'm going to chuck some super glue into there. As you can probably tell, I'm beyond the point of fussing now. So that's got a pin on it there, that's going to go into there. There we are, that's gone in there, so that's got a nice positive fit. So that's that assembly done, as you can see there. So I'm going to put that to one side to dry. I'm going to repair this piece I broke off the engine. Alright, so now we're going to fit this supercharger assembly to the back of the engine. So the shaft's going to go through that hole. We have 4 holes in there. We have 4 pins on the supercharger. And the instructions say apply a little glue if necessary. So we shall see if it is necessary. So there's 4 holes, there's 4 pins. I can't see any of it. And I've just knocked that bloody piece off the front again. Oh, that is very, very tight. No, that's way too tight to be forced. I think we're going to have to open some holes up here. So I'll get my drills out and get that done. This is a nightmare. That's done. So those 2 pins at the bottom are 1.1 and the holes were about 1, so I just drilled them out and it went together beautifully. So no glue needed, just press the supercharger on and that's it. I've also fitted this piping here, just 4 drops of super glue in the top, just drop that piping in. It's pointless me trying to show you because everything's black and you can't see anything. But you need to be very, very careful. There's so many little bits and pieces that's sticking out that will snap off and this, that and the other. But yeah, there we go. It's a tricky build, guys. I tell you, it's a tricky build and you need to have some patience. Take your time and get yourself, you need some quick setting super glue as well as the ordinary extra thin, because the black thin, sorry. Because the black thin is really handy to position stuff. Like with these bits here, you just keep touching them when you build any engine, and unless they're rock solid, they just keep breaking off, or falling off. The pipework is a nightmare. The exhaust manifolds, don't forget you need to cut those off to get them to fit properly. Drill out the back to get the supercharger to fit. It's a shame they've cut all the pins off everything. But yeah, they've cut there's no pin on there either. You can see they cut the pin off of the intake manifold so it doesn't join up with the supercharger now. But hey ho. So so there we go. I'm not going to worry about that. That's all gone together. It's absolutely fine. As I say, we're going to close that up and we're never going to see it again. So so there we are. So that's it, guys. That's it for this delivery. That's packs 19, 20, 21, 22. We've done in 4 videos. And I will see you back in around about a month for the next 4. I'm just hoping and praying. Well, the next one, we got engine bearers, radiators, and the big plenum chamber over the top. So so that's all good. I'm just hoping in the next one after this, it's not just another repeat. I hope we don't just do all 4 engines, and that'll be the next 8 to 10 issues taken care of. So no, it won't. It'll be the next 12 to 14 issues taken care of. Oh God. So we shall see what they do. Anyway, if that's the case, I'll probably just build them off camera and we'll have a look at the magazines in one video or something. Alright guys, so thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking around. As I say, if you want to build one of these, go and look at that QR code at the beginning. and you'll see it on there. The rest of the model up to now has been absolutely gorgeous. It's gone together beautifully. We've done a few little modifications in the revisited video. It really has gone together very, very nice, and in some areas it's nicer than some of the plastic kits out there. But these engines, they're not fun, but you prove you can do it because I've done it, but it's just right. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.